My name is Francisco Amonte. I'm the CEO of South Tampa Medical Group. We're an internal medicine practice in Tampa, Florida, and we see primary care from the ages of 18 and up. MGSI provides all of our billing solutions. They do our coding, they send all of our claims out in an electronic format. They then receive the claims and process the EOBs so that we know approximately what we've made that month. We get reports from them that allows us to basically do our budgeting. MGSI has helped out quite a bit because it has removed a lot of our day-to-day fears of whether or not we can and cannot do a specific procedure, test, or whether or not we're going to get paid. We don't have to wonder if a specific patient with specific insurance is payable. Before, a lot of practices are forced into the role of having to treat the patient, but treat the patient with the insurance. And when you're talking about a practice that, like most practices, has such a tight operating budget, it actually becomes a big problem. So knowing that they can treat the way that they need to treat rather than having to worry about whether or not they're actually going to get paid, whether or not they're actually going to have to fight the insurance after the patient has been treated, has really freed up the way that we're actually capable of treating our patients. Prior to MGSI, our accounts receivables were very far out. We were way past 180 days in terms of our AR. It made it very difficult for us to forecast where we really were, where we were going with our budgets and with our income. MGSI has brought that down significantly. It's been something where now that we have a manageable AR, now that we know approximately what our cash flow is on a monthly basis, we know where we can be spending money, we know approximately what our growth curve is, so we know when to save, when to actually spend. We know approximately where we're going to be in a year because we can actually make projections. I can go to my AR and know that the majority of my AR is actually dependable cash. MGSI's reporting is really extremely useful, especially for me or someone who's in my position. In order to be able to run an effective practice in today's environment, you need to know that your investments are actually performing. So, should I buy sensors? Should I not buy sensors? Should I invest in an ultrasound unit? Is the ultrasound unit actually performing? Prior to getting very detailed reports, you don't really have the answers to those questions. The fact that you have a detailed report that can tell you, look, you did 30 exams of nerve conduction studies and you made X amount of money on it and you spent X amount of money on it. You know exactly what your profit margin is on every single thing that you've done. That does, in fact, play in tremendously on how you manage the practice. Having a single point of contact who is in upper management really helps out a lot. If you have a problem, you call her rather than calling a number and not really knowing who you're going to get, or having to feel like you have to explain the problem over and over again. You can reach her in multiple ways at any given point. If she's not answering the phone, you send her an email. I've driven over sometimes and just popped in and said, hey, let's go over some reports. MGSI is a very transparent company.